I do know that many of you in the Facebook group were wanting to redo this 21 days, and you are so welcome to do that. I love that. I really recommend finding a good why. Why do you want to do it? And I definitely recommend having a break after, at least for the weekend, and then maybe get started again on the Monday. Mondays are great for starting new projects, new things. I just recommend that as part of the vinyasa, having a bit of a break. But then why do you want to go and do this again? And really connecting to your why is so powerful, because that is the motivation. That's the fuel in the fire to keep you going when it's a little tough. And yesterday I was talking about challenge is something that's going to make you grow, and that it isn't always easy and it isn't always rosy. And you possibly remember back to some of your more challenging times of your life, and maybe in hindsight you look back at them and go, oh wow, that was actually a really incredible time of personal growth. So to not shy away from challenge. Even the butterfly, when it's born, if it's born by a cesarean, as in someone surgically opens the cocoon, the butterfly just falls out and withers on the ground. When the butterfly has to push against the cocoon to be born, then it's priming the wings with blood flow, with strength, so that it can then fly. And I do love the butterfly life cycle to draw inspiration from. And my name means butterfly, so it's very dear to me. But just that idea of resistance is actually how we build strength, personal power. So I'd really encourage you to find out why. And even when you do, when you come up against those challenges, those resistance, the limitations, life just throws things in your path that you can then rise up to that challenge and know that you're going to grow through that. So, dear friends, we can get ourselves started on the mat. And yes. So coming onto your mat into a seated position. And we'll just start to circle around with this Sufi circles. So chin to the chest as you round, and allowing the head and neck to get involved in the movement. So I love it that the very last day that we are concluding our challenge, it is the celebration of life day. Like, I really couldn't have timed it any better. So as you breathe, as you move today, just opening to the moment as a celebration. Let's circle back the other way. And whether it happens with the breath or not, it doesn't really matter. So this experience of appreciation and gratitude is often a gateway to celebration. But what does celebration mean to you? Maybe it's bringing in joy, maybe it's excitement. Definitely smile throughout this practice, and that this will extend not only through this practice, but through the day. So from here, be at the back of your mat and swing the feet around to the left side. So feet over to the left side, and you're in deer pose here. And you can take an inhale, stretch the arms up overhead. And as you exhale, lean over to the right side. Inhale back up through center and over to the left. Inhale to come back up, and releasing the hands down behind, scoop the tail and lift up into a back bend, easy back bend here. And then releasing down, touch the right foot onto the floor, and then bring that right foot forward so you're in a lunge. You may like to pad underneath that left knee. And then taking the hands into Namaste, we'll rock the hips forward and reach the arms forward and circling around. So the celebration of life and celebration of every phase of life as well, as we talked about yesterday with the highs, the lows, just celebrating it all. So the palms are open, and from your heart, lengthening forward and into this celebration and maybe joy. One last time, reaching around. And then from here, planting the left hand down onto the floor, straighten through the back leg, and sending this right arm up to the sky and just circling around here, looking back. And even as the arm circles, can you find some joy there? Maybe an experience of the subtlety of the air brushing over the skin between the hair follicles, just getting a cool breeze on your skin, whatever it is. And releasing down, recoil and step yourself forward, lift halfway up and open through the front of the body. And as you exhale, fold the chest into the legs. Come on up, either reverse swan dive or a spinal roll. Let the palms touch overhead and exhale the hands down into Namaste. So let's pick up the left foot, inhaling and lifting the left knee up. And exhale across into a figure 4 shape. So maybe folding in, maybe hands onto the floor. Doesn't really matter where you get to. You could even have the hands on a block here. Just a little standing pigeon. Inhaling to lift the knee up again, and exhale to touch the feet down. Come into a chair pose position. And again, just with this celebration of life, I think of the Disney castle and the little fireworks coming down. Exhale the hands down through Namaste. Inhale to sweep the arms up. That's Tilly, our neighbor. Exhale and sinking down. Coming up one more time and lifting that same left leg. This time, keep the right arm lifted and left hand onto the left foot, coming into Natarajasana. But rather than this tipping forward, think of lifting up. So lift through that right arm and start to kick the right foot back. And then from here, take the right hand onto the right shin. This is a thigh, and stepping all the way back. Inhale to take the arms up, and like we did, exhale that left hand to the floor, but this is a little different this time. So I'd recommend left palm flat to the floor, send the right arm forward and pivot all 10 toes over to the right side, and then sweeping the horizon line. So the celebration, I just think of sprinkling fairy dust everywhere, Tinkerbell, sprinkle kindness, joy, just this smile and celebrating life. Inhale to lift and exhale to sink down. And then you can inhale and lift and pivot yourself around back to a lunge at the front of the mat, dropping the back knee down. So it depends. I'd recommend having the back toes tucked here. We're going to move towards a half camel position. Inhale up and keep that right arm lifted, and exhale the left hand down, maybe onto the heel, maybe onto the lower back. Tilly's celebrating life as well. So make sure you are smiling, finding joy in the movement, joy in the expression here. And then cartwheeling the hands down and stepping yourself back into plank pose. Exhale harder to find joy and celebration in plank, but finding it everywhere today. Just because I can plank, I'm going to find joy, inhaling and lifting. What if I could never plank again? And then it changes things, doesn't it? Come into a Sphinx position, lengthening the heart forward and the toes back, opening through the front of the body. And then yogi's choice. So you could come into down dog here or lift into a dolphin pose. Lifting through the hips, nodding the head, yes. So dolphin pose, we've got the forearms on the floor and the hands could be namaste hands. Maybe the hamstrings are not feeling so celebratory. You could bend the knees and perhaps get more opening through the chest. And then from here, you can move towards down dog, however you'd like to transition for that. Pressing into your down dog and grounding both heels. Just be steady and still here for a moment. Take a few inhales, celebrating the feeling of the breath. So this life of ours is such a precious gift. As soon as you turn up your awareness of that, then the joy starts to flow. This breath, the texture of the mat under the hands. You can then melt the knees down onto the earth and pivot the feet over to the right side this time, coming into deer pose on the right side. So deer pose, the knees are as wide as the mat. And taking an inhale to sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale over to the left side, so leaning left. Inhale, center, and then leaning over to the right. Inhale, back up through center, and then coming into this easy camel position, opening through the front of the body. And exhaling to lower. Keep the hands behind you as you release the left foot to the floor and then bringing yourself forward into a lunge. Remember, you can pad underneath that right knee if you need to. Bring the hands into namaste and just charging your hands with that fireworks, that celebration, and sending the arms forward and circling around. And forward and circling around. Feeling the arms as an extension of the heart. And again, what is it? What is celebration to you? Party poppers or the excitement, joy, whatever it is for you. As the hands come back into namaste now, release the right hand to the earth, and you could be up on fingertips or on a fist, and then sending this left arm around. And as the arm moves back, just tack that left hip back as well. And you may even like to rock forward and back here. So like that, sprinkling glitter around as a celebration, your own little mini festival going on. With the breath, a couple more times. Inhale forward, spinning around, exhale back. Last one. And release the hand down. Step yourself forward, lift halfway up and open through the front of the body. And exhale as those hamstrings warm, maybe melting, chest towards the leg. Inhale to reverse swan dive and come all the way up. Bring the palms to touch and exhale the hands down through namaste. So let's pick up the right leg now. Inhaling, lift the right leg up. Exhale across into that figure four shape. So figure four, standing pigeon. You'll feel maybe a little opening through the hip. And can you bring that same joy anytime that some sort of negativity starts to creep in, any self-talk that starts to creep in that's of a negative nature, just swipe left on it. You can clear that in a moment and return to appreciation, to gratitude. You can then inhale and lift the right leg back up and exhale back down into your chair pose. So I have the feet hip width apart and parallel. Take an inhale and circle the arms up, and exhale, maybe sinking down a little deeper. And last one, inhaling, stretching up, pause there. Can you celebrate being able to do chair pose? What if this was the last chair pose you ever did? Could you savor it? And then let's lift all the way up, lifting the right leg up at the same time. Catch hold of the foot with the right hand and moving towards Natarajasana, but not this tipping, but rather this ascent, lifting to your highest, lifting towards that celebration, upshift, uplift. Then left hand, left thigh, and stepping all the way back, melting the right hand down now. It's going to want to be flat, and maybe this left foot steps back a little. So then we go the horizon, tracing the horizon, and both sets of toes pivot to the left side. Inhale forward and exhaling, and maybe the hips sink down a little deeper. So this to the edge of the horizon. Can you send your blessings out, this celebration? Joy, excitement, light. Last one. And then come on up, rearrange yourself into the lunge position and taking the back knee down. So again, I'd recommend toes stay tucked here. Inhaling the arms up overhead, and exhale the right hand back for the right heel, if you can make it. Otherwise, it might just be hand onto the lower back. So it's not a celebration if you're being brutal to your body in the name of yoga. Don't do that. So finding a place that is a position of joy, a celebration. And then releasing, come up, inhale to lift, and then bringing the knee back, and you can come forward towards your plank again with the same enthusiasm. Woo, plank pose, yes. And lowering down. Reaching the arms back, you might like to Rise up into bow pose. Back bends cause me to celebrate. They may not cause you to. So then releasing down, and let's take child's pose, melting the hips back onto the heels, finding space between the knees, and find your place here. Celebration of life, a celebration of your life. Maybe on the screen of your mind, just allow all your highest moments to flash across the screen of your mind. The joy of children, the joy of achievement, the joy of connection. All those moments that are worth celebrating. Just bring them to mind, bring them into your heart, and let that light up your body. Now that your cup is full, you can come on up to Vajrasana if this kneeling position is okay for you. Otherwise, go cross legs. And let's set up this same movement, opening the arms out. So now that your cup is full, you can share this joy with the planet. One more time, circling the arms around. Maybe it's to loved ones. And then just once with an Om. So please join me for one Om and sending our blessings out. Take a long inhale. And celebrating yourself today as well. Celebrating the good that you do on the planet, in society, and with yourself on the yoga mat. Such a powerful, powerful practice, I think, for becoming a integrated whole human who can be of benefit to humanity and to the planet. Thank you so much for your practice. Thank you for your service. Namaste to you all. It's been a wonderful, wonderful experience to share this with you, and I've loved every single minute. Thank you.